That's why I don't buy a whole lot from brokers. That's why we get on the phone and we call owners.
Combating the sellers in the multifamily world who are saying we haven't raised rents in forever, but we know rents are $200 a month more and we're selling it to you at a cap rate.
Pro forma. Pro forma. So that would take me back into the conversation we had the other day between prospects and suspects, right? To me, if I'm talking to someone and they immediately come at me with hey, we know rents are low, but they should be $300 more. I typically have a response and it's pretty direct and it says, well, I tell you what, go raise all the rents and give me a call. And and I say it in a joking way with them. I'm like, hey, that sounds great. Yeah, well, why haven't you raised those rents yet then? Well, we just haven't put the time into it. I understand. Well, why don't you raise them and then give me a call, and then I'm happy to pay you what it's worth once they're raised. It's just we have to get them to understand they're asking pro forma, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of a lot of commercial real estate sold on pro forma, right? But if there's a big swing, possibly, maybe it's a negotiating room, but goodness gracious, out of all the stuff I've bought that was under rents, maybe it's just because of the people I'm talking to, because I'm looking really for prospects that are motivated, that don't know what they don't know in a lot of cases. And that's who I'm buying from. That is not the case. Let me be very clear. When we're analyzing, like this one in Kansas, this 50 unit in Kansas, commercial space on the bottom, he hadn't raised rents in 4 years. But guess what he's asking?
Right.
Current value based on current rents. And I'm like having this discussion with you. I'm like, when's your leases come up? Well, these leases are coming up. I'm like, I tell you what, then let's start raising the rents and show me that rent can actually be achieved in your building. And I'm happy to get closer to your price. That was how I handled him. And we're in an LOI with him, and I'm flying up there to look at it because he has all the commercial space downstairs that he hasn't even rented out. But he didn't put pro forma on those, but he did on the units upstairs. That we see a lot more, not in the 1 to 4, 6, 8 units. I don't see a lot of that, but when you're dealing with 20, 40, maybe that's where you were going with that. And a lot of times we know that's coming because they've had a broker in their ear, or they've already talked to a commercial broker. And if you guys ever get a pro forma or a sale pack from a commercial broker, it always has what in it? The pro forma. It is always, this is what the building's value would be if you did this, this, and this, right? And it's like, well, then go do that. Go do that then. Why didn't you do that already? That's just selling on speculation is what it is. And people do it. But that's why I don't buy a whole lot from brokers. That's why we get on the phone and we call owners, even in the multiple, like 20, 30, 40, 50, we're calling owners. We're trying to get them on the phone to see if they want to sell. So, but it goes back to prospect and suspect.